are you? Chernobylite?
I am God.
Bullshit. There is no God.
But it's a matter of perspective. To a spider under your boot, you surely are a god. Isn't that so, Igor?
Don't. Call me that. I'm not... Ah, fuck.
Having a bit of an identity crisis? As a poet once said, the child is the father of the man. The fear that clouds your mind is what makes your situation irreconcilable.
Fear? No. I'm not afraid of...
The fear of discovering there is nothing at the core of your persona but pure chaos. You simultaneously are and are not you. But don't worry, I am about to reveal the truth. After that, it won't matter anymore.
What do you want from me?
Have you ever wondered why, despite your technological sophistication, people so insistently pursue self-destruction? Why destroy your own ecosystem? Why you cannot help but slaughter each other and every other species? Why, over and over again, you sacrifice your own future for short-term gain?
If you're thinking to catch me off guard with your freshman philosophy insights, you've got another thing coming. People are for the most part selfish assholes. I don't need an alien entity to tell me this. So what's next? Are you going to propose some kind of new world order to save us all? Am I to be your prophet and help you usher in a comic book utopia?
I never expected you to be so nihilistic. But I suppose it isn't surprising. No, a new world order isn't enough to save you from yourselves. You are fundamentally flawed.
Is that right? And why is that?
Again, it's the fear. Fear of your own existence. Fear of anything strange or other. Fear about the future. I can take it all away. I can help you as I've helped many other civilizations before.
How?
Your kind can only live in the moment. The future is terrifying to you. It makes you do silly, destructive things. Surely you can see that now. Become my vessel, and I will purify them of fear and weakness. I will remake mankind in my image, burn away the dross in a firestorm the world has never seen. I must reduce everything to ashes so they can be reborn.
That is some insane biblical shit.
You're scared this will make you feel less special, less of a hero? This is what being a hero is all about. You went on a quest to heal the world, to find a cure. I am the cure. We can banter words for as long as you want. I have plenty of time, but the result is inevitable. You and I are already connected at the core. You cannot exist without me. Struggling against me will only tire you. It will not in the slightest change the outcome. You're like a fish, endlessly swimming the circumference of a wash basin. You want to jump out, but without me, you simply can't. All your science cannot help you. It's time to set aside this futile struggle. Help yourself and the world. Embrace me.
I see you have it all figured out, my love. But it's not going to happen. I refuse to take part. If mankind wants to destroy itself, let it. For all I know, extinction is a better fate than becoming part of whatever you are.
You are defiant, like her. But as I said, we can do this forever. For eternity. I can have you wake back up at your base again and again. In the end, you will always return to me. It is a circle.
A circle? Of course.
Oh, don't get distracted with your theories now. You have no choice. We belong together.
I almost fell for it. But something betrayed you. You omitted one detail, a detail that makes you vulnerable. Me. I'm your only hope, and this also makes me your biggest weakness.
You cannot exist without me. I made you. Everything you are is because of me.
True. But you also cannot exist in this plane without me. You're no god. You're just a fucking parasite. A freeloader looking for a new host, hoping to get a foothold in a new environment. Tanya, my mom, is no longer a viable option for you. You can't use her anymore. Who knows? Perhaps you never needed her in the first place. And all this was a ruse to bring me back to you.
You don't even know what you are. You have no identity. You don't exist without me. Now obey.
Identity. Yes. Perhaps I'm Igor, perhaps I'm Igor's son. Perhaps I'm both. Maybe I'm just a faulty copy of a dead physicist. But it doesn't matter. I make my own choices, and that brings us neatly to my conclusion. As a scientist, I must test this theory before I can confirm or deny it. So watch closely, my love. This is my final experiment. It's time to break the circle and destroy the parasite by denying it a host.
No! 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 The protagonist never returned from the power plant. The Chernobylite vanished entirely. The zone is now free of it. Igor stalkers drove off the remaining NAR troops and even convinced a few of them to join the cause. Now they're working together for the good of the Samoshels, tracking down the few remaining monsters still roaming the area. Olivier never had the chance to change his own history and prevent the ambush that wiped out his team. Igor's example convinced him to abandon his plan and accept his flawed past. That tragedy, after all, made him the man he was. With time, he made his peace and, in the end, was grateful to be part of something bigger than himself. Once the events in the zone were finished, he sought out Anton's fiancée and took care of both her and her daughter. In spite of his flaws, Olivier will always be remembered in the zone for his courage and grit. Sashko had always been the lone wolf and daredevil of the zone. Life had always been harsh for him, and he learned the hard way to rely only on himself. His crusade against NAR began with a desire for closure regarding his brother Ruslan's death, but Igor's quest to find Tatiana was what kept him going until the end. In his final moments, he enjoyed a privilege afforded to few men indeed. He had no regrets. He died as he lived, fighting bravely for those closest to him, and that was enough. Tarakan's fight against the Rat King has reached an end. Having barely survived the zone, he realized his time was up. Now, someone else must carry the torch and defeat the evil lurking in the power plant. But Tarakan wasn't worried. After all, he had prepared Igor and others well. Tarakan's true identity was never discovered. Was he a madman, a saint, a spy? Perhaps he was all of these, or perhaps none of them. But one thing is certain. The old man was a true child of Pripyat. His restless soul will forever wander its marshes and woods. When all was said and done, Olga's thoughts went to her mother and the Samoshels. She had joined Igor in his mission because she knew what it meant to live with a hole inside you, a hole left by the departed. As a troubled teenager in Minsk, she'd never planned to become a freedom fighter or martyr, but sometimes we encounter the person who will change our destiny at just the right moment. Life is unpredictable that way. Olga decided to continue serving as the huntress and ranger of Pripyat's forests, striking fear into the hearts of anyone who wished harm upon her people. Like so many before him, General Kozlov made the wrong choices while chasing a dream of the good life. War taught him about the cruelty and inevitability of loss, leaving him indifferent to human suffering. His experiences made him strong, but also blind to the serendipitous moments which could have placed his life on a different trajectory. And so his death was as empty as his life. General Kozlov spent his final moments consumed with bitterness. "If I only had another chance," he said to himself. Alas, that is a privilege afforded to very few. Semenov's ambitions and neuroses almost got him killed. He was a brilliant scientist, but could never come to terms with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Though not a devout communist, Semenov could not stomach the chaotic aftermath, for it reflected the emptiness of his own heart. And so he chased his green Chernobylite dream, hoping his experiments would usher in a new world order. In reality, what he sought was to fill the gaping void in his own soul. Meeting his former student Igor saved Semenov's life, although he could never have predicted it. Confronted with mortal danger, he realized he could no longer allow his demons to determine his fate. He left the zone, hoping there was still time for him to find peace. Without Semenov's brilliance, NAR eventually dissolved, most of its mercenaries wiped out by either the Shadows or the Samoshils. Faced with staggering losses, the shareholders halted all funding. All that remains of NAR in the zone are the empty barracks and derelict labs, stark reminders of a misguided ambition based on human misery.